on this Friday night. Welcome to the live before lock. You ever see this, by the way? My LFG mug. I don't even know if this ever shows up on the might even be like reverse letters or something like that. I'm not even sure. But yeah, just chilling. We're gonna go through the MLB stuff. I just updated the projections, the sheets, whatever, and we're going to go through all that. In addition, if you have any MMA questions, I'll give you my last kind of look at the DFS slate, and I also posted my bets for this week. For those of you that followed me last week, we really killed it, but it's more the process than anything else. I mean, I'm extremely contrarian, and it's the same approach that I've used for literally every other form of wagering I've ever been involved with, from sports betting through the stock market. And I think I don't know. I think you learn something from watching those videos above and beyond MMA in general. So in any case, what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to do this pretty much the same thing that we did earlier at 12 o'clock with the new projections. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the projections, go through the stack scores, and then do some builds, because some of them just some of the projections are a little surprising to me. And when that happens, you have to make a decision of whether you want to override them with your own takes. So, hey, what's up, K9? And we are going to do FanDuel as well. So we're also going to do is we're going to build my MLB, my MME stuff. We are going to also build my hand build, probably my big buy-in stuff. We're going to do both FanDuel and DraftKings. So let me share my screen with you. Hey, what's up, Rody? One thing I want to do, Rody, with you one day, in the next several weeks, I suppose, is I think this would be fun. If you know how this works, I would love to do like an hour video where you teach me what best ball is and how to play best ball. I'm embarrassed to say that I literally have no idea what it is. I shouldn't say that. I have some idea what it is, but if you had me try to explain it, I really would have no idea. But it seems to be very popular with the NFL now, and everybody's talking about it 24/7. So I would like as for my own benefit to learn what it is and how to approach it, and whether it's something I would enjoy playing. So sometime in the next couple of weeks, maybe you'll come on and you'll walk me through what I need to do to become good at it, what I need to do to construct lineups and what sites to play on, and pretty much all of that. So these are my sheets for tonight, and we're looking at DraftKings first. And I was I was imagining that the Reed Detmers projection and love for him was going to wane, but it is not. This really kind of stuck in there, and I have to say that again, this is putting my own opinion above the numbers, I suppose, but I don't like messing with Seattle with lefties. I don't mind messing with Seattle with a righty pitcher, but I don't know. If he's going to be really the second chalkiest pitcher on the slate, I don't think I'm going to do it in my big buy-in. I mean, I'm definitely not going to my big buy-in. Like if I get to a bunch of it in MME, I'll leave it in. But there's no way that I'm going to prioritize this. I don't think. Like for example, like let's look at this next group that are all just basically rated the exact same, right? I'm looking at sheets value score 29, 28, 20. They're basically identical. And Luis Castillo, and even consider Yu Darvish in that same kind of mix, and even Merrill Kelly, right, down in the same mix. Then a little drop to Wainwright. So if you're below these next two, everybody's kind of the same. Like instinctively, I would rather play Logan Allen. If you want to know the truth, I would rather play Logan Allen against Chicago White Sox, righty versus the White Sox, than I would to play Reed Detmers, lefty versus Seattle. And again, that's just kind of oversimplifying it, but that's my opinion. And Luis Castillo, he's getting owned somewhat. Logan Allen's one of your top dudes in the playbook, Rody. Okay, that's good. I feel good about that. And Yu Darvish is just, listen. If people want to play him, that's great. I mean, feel free. He'll be lower owned, but I don't know. Maybe again, I'm just, I don't want to say biased, but I just know what I see, and I can't imagine playing a righty pitcher against the Dodgers. They're just going to load up these freaking dudes like every freaking time. They're gonna load up with freaking all those lefties that they can just cram out in there. And okay, so you want a righty? Okay, how about Mookie Betts? It's like I don't think I want to do that. I'll tell you who I really want to play. Thanks, Banks. Yeah, we're getting to that. I have to tell you who I really want to play here. And I'm glad Bobby's not here because he would never let me do this. I really want to play Merrill Kelly tonight. That's what I would like to do. He was off of a layoff, and he kind of just came back slowly or whatever it is. He had a decent game, kind of a bad game, whatever it is. But we've been streaming these righties against Minnesota for a while. And all of a sudden, like, people are forgetting about this. And I see him at 10% ownership. I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do in my big binds. I want to play something like, I'm getting there, Rody. I think I want to play Kelly and Hunter Brown, or Kelly and Nola. And those are obviously two different things, right? But that's what I think I would like to do. And or Logan Allen, right? So Logan Allen, Merrill Kelly. I think the Logan Allen Merrill Kelly pairing is it feels sharp. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels as though it's what I want to do. It feels like something I want to do. And then also the Hunter Brown. So Hunter Brown, Logan Allen, Merrill Kelly, those three, I think those are kind of like the hoodoo GPP type plays. Now, other guys that are showing up here, like Colin Ray, 6,700, and let's talk about these two guys together, Colin Ray and Adam Wainwright. I actually, when I ran my first MME build, and when I ran one before, actually getting Colorado as my highest owned stack. That would be against Wainwright. Wainwright legit could be just done. Okay. It's just not my kind of play. Now, again, you could argue both ways, right? That you can get Wainwright, you can get a 6K pitcher against Colorado who's atrocious. You could do worse than that, I suppose. Or similarly, you could play Colin Ray at 6,700 against Pittsburgh. Which is better? I would actually prefer Colin Ray to Wainwright. That would be my take on that. A guy who people have talked about, he's just kind of just a little bit worse than these others. Not much, but James Paxton, Jesus Luzardo. I just those are just not priorities for me. If I get to them in MME, that's totally fine. But I'm not going to be putting them in my big binds on purpose. Let's take a look at the stacks, and this is the way we're gonna analyze them this way. And we're going to look at DraftKings first. And then we're going to go back to FanDuel and do whatever. We got plenty of time. So again, this is the way I do it because I'm familiar with my sheets more than everybody. So I know how to visualize this stuff. So what I like to do is I like to sort by raw stack, then sort by value stack, then sort by modified stack, and see what teams kind of show up, right, in all of them, if you can, and then just compare like ownerships, right, go right over here. So like right here, if you sort by raw stacks, you're having Boston and Houston at the top, and just this type of thing just always just grabs me when I see equal points and one team with less ownership, right? So I think Houston is, to me, like a better stack than Boston. And I think Houston, I make them a better stack than Philly because they're ranked higher than them and lower owned. So I do rank Houston, if we're just looking at raw points, Houston is just kind of the nuts, okay? When you can put everything together. Now, when you do it by, let's go the other extreme. And I don't usually do this, but let's look at value, just pure points per dollar. Okay. You have pure points per dollar. You get Cleveland, Boston, Seattle, Baltimore. All right. Let's look at the top 4 or 5. Cleveland, Boston, Seattle, Baltimore, Minnesota. Now, I want to just remind myself of if any of those guys were in the top group on the left when I did raw stats. I do remember that Boston was up there. Okay. So that is something to consider, right? If you're at the top of the list in raw points and in pure value, that's actually pretty strong. So even though they're going to be pretty popular, I'll put Boston in there, all right? So we're thinking about Boston, Houston, and then again, Seattle, Baltimore, Minnesota as far as value. So now we're going to go to this modified thing, and what this does is kind of like puts it all together, and it weights both the raw points and the value points. And here the way they rank is Boston, Seattle. So again, Seattle. Okay. Philly shows up a little bit, and then you get to St. Louis, right? And it's a kind of smooth down there. So once again, you're getting Boston, Seattle, Cleveland, Philly. So now Philly is showing up as well. So those are basically, so what I take from this is that the top teams I would want to play are Boston, Houston, Philly, and Seattle showed up in both these, and Seattle. So those are my top 4. Earlier, I had Baltimore listed higher, but it just didn't work out that way after all the projections updated. So when I'm hand building, I'm going to see if I can get in Boston, Seattle, Houston, and Philly. All right. So let's do that. Actually, let's do MME first, and then we'll go back and do how to approach the big buy-ins. All right. So let's go into SaberSim here, and I'm going to redo this. Okay. So we're going back to home, and we're going to re-upload. They're all in here already. So we're going to just build 50 lineups. I'll set it for 150 max settings, but I'm going to tweak this in a minute. So we're going to just run this. I'm going to put a 49,000. Let's give it a little more. 49,200 min. Sometimes it leaves a little too much money on the table. So let's run 150 lineups and let's see what we get. And we're making no adjustments yet. We're going to after we build this. Based on our takes, Yeah, Travis, I gave you literally I gave everybody the guaranteed top lineup on the slate. You missed it. Literally the nut lineup. I actually got like a crystal ball and I got the actual answer. Sorry about that. Sorry you missed it. So, okay. So based on just the SaberSim builds, what I'd be getting, and first, before I even look at it, I want to look at stack types because I want to get rid of some of these like 4-2s, 4-2-2s. It's just not the way I play. I mean, Bobby likes to do this. I just feel you have to be way too precise. with your one-offs to make this work. So I'm going to have 5-man stacks everywhere. So mostly 5-2s, 5-3s, and 5s with one-offs. So we put that in. Now let's just see what I'd be getting. Team stacks, Boston, the Mets actually, which is interesting. Didn't even think about that. Colorado, which I didn't think about that either when we were doing it, by hand. Seattle, I'm getting 2. Houston, I'm getting 2. But when you run it through SaberSim, you're getting these other types of stacks, which is fine. I do respect, especially for MME, what the algorithm is trying to do because it is taking into account ownership and taking into account leverage and upside and sims and stuff like that, as opposed to just median projections, which is what I'm taking into account. Let's take a look at the pitchers, though. It's giving me 15 pitchers, and it's giving me 46% Reed Detmers, which is something I said that I didn't want, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually adjust him down. And the other guys that I have down here that I was talking about, I want to manually adjust up. So the guys I want to manually adjust up would be Logan Allen, who we mentioned before, and Merrill Kelly, who I mentioned before. So let's just give him Merrill Kelly 20% minimum. And let's give, who did I say? Logan Allen 20% minimum. And let's reduce Reed Detmers to 20%. Okay, I'm just not a big fan of this. Okay. So now what we're left with is a more reasonable, MME build. You got Nola, Hunter Brown, Kelly, Allen, Detmers is fine. Okay, up here, but they're not top plays. And I have sprinkles of all this other stuff, which is totally okay, right? And then what I want to do is I want to go back into stack types and see if that impacted that. Yeah, so I got this random 3-2, which now I can get rid of. And then we'll go back into team stacks. Boston, get more Toronto. Mets, I know they're tanking, whatever, but I can't, I can't help that. As far as 5-mans go, mostly Boston's, and then once again these Colorados, Seattle's, Mets. So honestly, what I'm going to do right now, I am going to. You want process? You're going to actually see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm actually going to put all these into DraftKings. Now, the first thing we're going to do is, so what I'm doing, just so you guys know, I'm playing the lottery, like 50 in the lottery, and then I'm playing the big buy-in, and then the 250, and like that Roto Grinders thing. So we're just going to cut and paste this. And for now, we're just going to literally just like put our top lineups in the top buy-in things, but we're going to change those in a second. I have to remember to put my stuff on State Kings. I'm going to remember to do that. And then we are going to upload this just like that. And then the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to go back in and talk about these big buy-ins, okay? And you'll see that the big buy-ins are the ones with 2 entries in them. That's how I can kind of tell easily. So let's start with the single entry one. All right, so let's just do that. So again, what we want to do is we wanted to play Logan Allen, Hunter Brown, okay, or Logan Allen with Merrill Kelly. So let's just do that. Let's in these. How many big buy-ins we have? Hold on, we have 4 big buy-ins. So let's do let's do all those combinations in these. So we'll start with let's start with the big one. Okay, big one, 7th inning stretch. So Hunter, what did I say? Hunter Brown, Logan Allen, maybe, or Hunter Brown, Merrill Kelly. It really doesn't make a difference. Okay. But let's do Logan Allen, Merrill Kelly, just for funsies. Okay, for this one. Not Keller. Sorry, I want Kelly. Kelly. And we'll clear the field as far as this goes. So the stacks we were considering were Boston, Seattle, Houston, and Philly. So honestly, which one of these kind of fits in the best? Now, I don't have to worry about ownership too much because of this pairing. So let's see what I could do as far as getting Houston guys in, because that was between Houston and Boston, those are my two favorites. Let's take a look. Let's pull the stack back up. And the way I like to prioritize them, and this is just literally the way I do it, is I pull up again the Houstons, and I want to see which guys appear in both the raw point one and the value one. All right, so we're looking at Tucker, Altuve, Alvarez for sure, right? All right, so let's start with that. And Diaz. So that's four of them. Okay, so let's just put those in. Let's just see if we can put those in. Okay. Altuve, Alvarez, Tucker, and Diaz. Okay. So you played four Houstons. Okay. So you can certainly do this, right? And we'll be able to find other guys to play in a minute. But it's a question of who's the fifth guy that I would put in. Well, you could either play Jake Myers or Bregman. Now, we're probably not going to be able to afford Bregman. But Jake Myers at 2,600, he's in the 9 hole, which is a little bit scary. Let's just see about Abreu, what he's been doing. I mean, he's been really just poor, like whole season pretty much. But let's leave this in for now, all right? And let's see if we can't get really greedy and pick some good guys from those other teams we talked about, like Seattle or Boston. I think Seattle is going to be the place that we go here. So let's just take a look. Let's go again. We'll go value stack. And so Seattle, we're talking about Caballero, Moore, Hernandez, Suarez, France. And over here, it would be, again, Caballero, Moore, Suarez. So let's see what position these guys play. Seattle. France is first base, so we could do that. Suarez is third base. We could do that. Shortstop is Crawford. We could do that. And we can – is Dylan Moore, is he on the team? I mean, if he plays, this is a pretty badass kind of 4-4 that we could play. There's no Hernandez today? Oh, you think I should take Hernandez? Oh, right. But you play Dylan Moore, Hernandez, Suarez, Crawford. We play any of these guys. You know, or, like I said, yeah, all these guys. So this could work. You could play a 4-4, presuming all these guys are in, and play the top Houston guys. The only guys you don't get is Bregman. Okay? You get a 4-4, but no Bregman. All right, it is what it is. But I think it's pretty strong. Okay, let's save this for now. Let's go on to the next one. Let's build. Let's go to the 250. That was that. Let's go to the 250. So the 250. Let's do, instead of that one, let's do that one we did what was Kelly and whatever. So this one, let's do something else. Let's do something else. We'll go Brown and Nola. Let's go Brown and Nola in this one. The other one we did Allen and Kelly. This one we could do Brown and Nola. And now let's see. I don't think we'll be able to do it, but let's see what we could do about getting these Boston guys in, just for the hell of it. Okay. So the Boston guys that we'd be wanting are this is interesting. Duran and Casas for openers. Duran and Casas for openers. So let's put those guys in first. Duran, Casas over here. Now at 3,900 East, we have to be a little bit kind of circumspect to see what we want to do here. But let's just see if we can't get a good looking bunch of Red Sox in. So Verdugo, he's the other guy. Okay, so Verdugo. Okay, so far so good, right? So we got three guys and still at 3,900 a man. So we could probably afford to pay a little bit. So let's play Yoshida. and let's play Colton Wong. So we have we have a 5-man stack. We don't, listen, we don't have Devers or whatever, but whatever. We could probably play Devers if you want to know the truth. Not a lot of stress. So you could play all 5 of these Boston guys with Brown and Nola and make this work. And then once again, we can go back and play Seattle's if we want. So let's go back and see who these Seattle guys are. It's probably going to be Kelly. Once again, this Caballero, Crawford. You know what I mean? This is pretty close to working. You know what I mean? This is pretty damn close to working. Caballero, Crawford. Oh man, 200 short of playing Raleigh. But maybe Murphy gets in. I mean, he's a righty. Maybe Murphy gets in. So we could start with this, and then we could screw around with these guys a little bit later. But that's 900. We don't really need to leave 900 on the table. Let me see what other Boston guys can I get. I can get Yoshida. I have Yoshida already. I mean, this is a good group, man. What other stacks do we talk about? I mean, can we play Houston? I mean, can we make this work? Can you play something like? No, but what you can do is you could play this as a one-off if we want, like Diaz, and then we can go back almost. That's the thing about one-off about hand building. It's a little hard. It gets a little frustrating after a while. So let's for now, and I'll change this later, so it doesn't make it as easy. We'll put Murphy in, and if he gets scratched, we have to do something else. And we'll put Crawford in for now. Leave the 900 on the table, and we'll save this for now. Okay. Next one we'll do this leaderboard one. Just check for questions here. Murphy is in. Oh, excellent. Or isn't in. You said isn't in. I don't know what that means. Okay. So let's then go. Let's go then. We'll go Brown and Allen. How about that? So we'll do a Brown and Allen. And the one team that we haven't dealt with is Philly. All right. So let's see what a Philly stack would look like against Jordan Lyles. Again, same thing. We're going to pull up. We got plenty of time. Just double checking this. Let's see what the Philly guys look like. Philly. So Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos. So we're looking for Schwarber, Castellanos, and Harper to start off with. Schwarber, Castellanos. Oh, we'll be able to do this pretty easily, right? I do like to play Real Muto if he looks good. Let me take a look at him. Real Muto, Stott, Marsh. One of these guys. So let's play those two. Let's play Real Muto. Can we get away with that? And Stott? Oh, absolutely. The only guy you don't get in is Turner. But again, if we want, we could play these random Seattles. The Seattle guys are pretty cheap, man. You get Suarez at right over here, and then you get what else can you do for Seattle's that we didn't think about before? Again, we got to double check the get Teoscar and then Crawford. You know, these Seattle's really make this work. Okay, that's that. And the last one we have is this other leaderboard special. So what have we done? We did Brown, Kelly, we did Brown, Allen, we did Nola, Brown. Let's do now a Nola and Kelly. And the only thing we haven't done yet is basically a full-on Seattle, right? We did a full Philly. We did a full Boston. We did a full Houston. We've not done a full Seattle. So let's do a full Seattle with this. And you're saying, Tio, you know the lineup here? I don't have the lineups. But we'll fix that later, I guess. So Seattle's we're gonna get. Let's pull this up. Under value. So it looks like it's gonna be again. We should probably play all these guys. Caballero, Crawford, Suarez, Teoscar, and Julio. Let's see if we can't get them all in. Teoscar. This one we can play France. Caballero, and Suarez. This one we won't play. We won't play Crawford. How about that? And look at this. Now we can go off. Like now we could play Houston's with these if we want, right? Or Phillies. I mean, we could do in this one. We could do Turner, Real Muto, almost right. We can go back to Boston if we want. We don't have to play Chang at shortstop. We can play. Well, who's going to play Pena at 4,500? So for now, let's do this. For now, oh my God, Trey Turner's hitting 8th. That's a little nuts. So we'll play him. We'll play Schwarber and we'll do some one-off, which we'll fix later, I guess. Who's a good shortstop here? Play around a lot of good shortstops here. Boy, there really are just a dearth of shortstops. Just to hold this. Oh, we'll go back to we'll do this. We will put Crawford here. We'll take Caballero out of this one. And then maybe there's a good 3,400 that I looked at earlier. Play Urias. Running into a little bit of issues here. Oh, we'll do back to Caballero, and then once again we get rid of Crawford. Crawford is like makes everything work so much here. All right, let's put in this Colorado one off here. Actually, this one doesn't have. This one we let's put in. Let's put in Tovar as a one-off for now. We'll fix this a little bit later. Okay. All right. So let's now do FanDuel. All right, we'll do the same thing with FanDuel. And let's see what we get. It's already put in there. So let's build again 50 lineups. Oh, and I got to remember to do I got to do the Stake Kings. So I don't put in Stake Kings, I know I'm going to win all the money and everybody's going to be mad at me. It's happened too many times. So we're going to do that in 5 minutes. All right, so let's see what FanDuel looks like. All right, so it looks as though, again, we'll go to stack types. I want all 4 4s on FanDuel. I don't mess around with it there. Let's see what it looks like. Team stacks, Houston, again, Mets, Boston, Colorado. This all looks good. Pitchers, once again, Detmers, just too much Detmers. I just don't like it. So I'm going to put him at max 10% over here. I just have to. And then Merrill Kelly's only 6. I got to get him a little bit high. At least 10-2. I can't play him 10. I'm just going to rely. I'm just actually going to go with this over here. Mostly, I'll have mostly Nola, but I got all kinds of other crap here. Which I think is fine. I think it's healthy in MMA to do this. So I'm going to leave this the way it is. And same thing as before. Let's go back to stack types to make sure it's good. So we're going to put these in the MMA, and then we're going to go back and we're going to hand build the big buy-ins again. And we're going to actually just like kind of eyeball it. Just like we did before with DraftKings. But first, I want to change these lineups. Upload. Incoming. And again, for now, I'm going to just put the top rated lineup in the big buy-in, but I'm going to change that in a second. Okay. Let's and a handle. I can't wait for it either. Let's see what happens. You know what I could always do at stakings? I could put it up late and tell them they have till 7:30. I mean, I don't really care. All right. So this is good. Edit. We're in. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back in here, and we're just going to pull up the big buy-in, and we're going to just change it. Okay. Let's see what we got. Let's go by highest entry fees. And we will edit this lineup right now. Okay. We're going to clear the deck, clear all, and we're going to pull up the sheets, just like we did before. FanDuel projections. So Nola, then Detmers, then a drop. I do it by hands. I build the small field outside. I mean, I usually do build the small field stuff by hand, Scott. No reason. I just like it. So, and because I don't like Detmers as much, I'm just going to basically just assume I'm just going to take Nola. I'm just going to eat Nola in this one. So we're going to start by playing Nola. All right, so this is where we are. So let's see what it does. It makes us go 31-38 a player, but you can usually get in whatever you want on FanDuel. So the question is, what do we want? So let's pull it up. Let's, again, and FanDuel, you get like very similar guys show up here. So Houston, Boston, Philly, and then St. Louis. Ooh, the St. Louis. And then when you go into first value stack, we get Boston, Cleveland, Philly, St. Louis. So Boston, Philly, St. Louis appears in both. And then here, Boston, Philly, St. Louis. So while Houston was kind of the nuts over on DraftKings, St. Louis is going to be the team to key over here. So that's who I'm going to play as a first 4 stack in the big buy-in. So the question is who I want to play. So it's going to be who appears in both. Well, it's going to be Goldschmidt, Arenado. Ooh, and then we have to decide. So let's start with Goldschmidt. Let's put St. Louis here. Goldschmidt, Arenado. All right, so for the next 2, I think we're going to probably have to save money if we're going to have to spend this. So let's see which guys we want. So it would probably be Contreras and O'Neill as opposed to Nootbaar and Gorman. I guess that makes sense, right? You want me to play Contreras? Doesn't really matter to me. Oh, dude, O'Neill is 2,600. I think I'm gonna have to do that. What's Contreras? But Contreras, I have to play him at catcher, right? You know what I mean? I want to play Goldschmidt there. I don't need to do You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to do. Let's put him here for now if you want. Okay, just for fun. We'll see if we can get him in. All right, but if not, I'm gonna have to play. Oh, I can play Contreras. Sorry. So O'Neill Contreras goes for Arenado. It's exactly what I want to play. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So we have these four guys. Oh, I like this. I like this start. So the question is how do I make this work with either a Houston or a Philly? That would be the key, right? Let me just see before you even look at it. Yeah, Houston, Philly, or Boston, if you want to know the truth. If I can't get any of them in. Let me just look at the rankings again. Yeah. San Diego would be the other one, but they're going to be too expensive. Philly, Houston will be the best because the ownership. I don't know if I'm going to get this in, but let's just see. What do these guys cost nowadays? Any chance Houston's cheap? Any chance Altuve? Oh my God, it's 4K. Okay, that's just not going to work because once I do this, then we got problems. Yeah, we got trouble, right, my friends, right here in River City. Alvarez, Tucker, Bregman, Diaz. There's no way, and Diaz is a catcher, right? We already used him. So it doesn't look like Houston is going to be the answer. What about Philly? Schwarber, Harper, Castellanos, Rio Muto. We're missing second basemen. That is the problem here. Who are we going to play at second base in this lineup? That's going to be an interesting question. It's going to be probably Urias for Boston at 2K. This is what's probably going to be the answer. But then, who do I get at shortstop? Oh, this is brutal. We're actually really running into. How about second base? Oh, we could play Stott. And then I really want to play Turner hitting eighth, but this almost works. Just not quite. Castellanos and Harper. Got him. Let's go. Oh, no. Nola's pitching. I screwed up. Unbelievable. See what I just did? I got a perfect lineup except for the fact that Nola's pitching. So what I'd love to do, I'd love to keep this exactly the way it is, except do a one-time one-off, somebody to replace one of these guys. So what we're going to do, really, really easy. We're going to go into the projections and just see who looks awesome, okay? Just rate by Sheets value score at any position. So like Tyler O'Neill we already have. Urias 2K. Yoshida, okay? So we could play him. Yoshida, Duran, something like that. Schwarber, he's Philly. So either Yoshida or Duran maybe to take one of these guys' places. Let's see. Wait. Boston, we're going to play. Outfield, Duran at 3,300. We can play him instead of Harper if we want. Or any good 2,900 instead of Contreras? No. I think it's going to have to be. What about one of the Houston guys? How about one of the Houston guys? We could play Bregman instead of Arenado. No, but I want the four-man St. Louis. I definitely want the four-man St. Louis. Certainly play Pena. Tucker 3,600. No. How is this so hard to find anybody to replace any of these guys? Let's look at how about a shortstop? Any shortstop that I like that's about 3K. That's going to be the answer. Oh my God, back to Crawford. That'd be so awesome. Right back to Crawford. I'm so much Crawford. We're going to do it. Let's go. One off JP Crawford. Steal some bases. Do whatever. Boom. I might end up changing that. You like Xander instead? Let's pull that up. Hold on. Maybe that's right, actually. Let's see. Can I get him at that same price? Yeah, it's probably the best idea, right? Bogarts? Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right. Excellent. Excellent work. And we're going to keep the other stuff the same. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm running out of time. So what I'm going to do, because I'm not lazy, but because I want to rebuild these with more single entry, with more a single entry take. So we're going to go back to this. And instead of making it large slate, we'll make it small slate, like a single game. And then we'll make, and we have 3 entries, 3 lineups there, right? So let's do that. Play 3 lineups. And this gets actually the St. Louis and Boston, just like we had mentioned. So we're getting all kinds of St. Louis here, but I don't want to do this. So let's make 3 uniques. How about that? Can we do that? And then some Arizona, some Mets. All right, so let's do that. That's a good idea. So we'll download these and we'll pick these lineups like the 3. Oh, I only play GPP, PK. So we're going to edit, download this, and we're going to replace these with that. And then I'm going to go into State Kings. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about MMA for a little bit. Oh, there's one other thing I have to do here. Keep this. And then I do want to put all of these lineups in the lottery. Just, you know, they're pretty good lottery lineups. All right, so edit these, and we should be in good shape. All right, just a couple of things about you could do questions here. As you can watch me actually post the St. King stuff. Literally watch me pull this right now. Feel free to fire off whatever questions you might have. But just so you guys, what he said, I like the contrarian breakdown. Suarez on the submission prop, so I took the TKO. I like that a lot, by the way, PK. I like that quite a bit. That I really thought about that. I think that's really, really sharp, and I would definitely recommend that. It's so funny that you picked up on that. That is actually the only one I felt kind of like fishy about also. I didn't know exactly what to do with the Suarez fight, you know, because I feel as though that actually Andrade is a little bit of name value, you know, so there might be a little bit. She might not be as great of a price as I might have thought. It's really sharp that you pick up on that because that's literally the one fight as well that I didn't really feel I had much of a lean as far as which way the public was going. But I definitely like that the TKO KO for what's her name. I think that's really sharp. So let's pull up 7 p.m. Stay the 4th. Oh, won't even let me go 7 p.m. Yeah, let's do 7:15. Let's give them a break. I hope it lets me do this. And then we got to do the single entry, the leaderboard thing, right? Where is this? Leaderboard special 222. Today, make it 7:15. Again, if they want to just look at my lineup for a minute, I really don't care. I just want to give the opportunity. And then aluminum bet leaderboard special again. This one will be 44. Same thing. And then we'll do the 7th inning stretch. That was the main slate ball 4. That's pretty good, actually. This is picking up okay. And this. And then we'll do main slate, not mega 8. It's going to be 7th inning stretch, right? And you know what? I really want to figure out. I've been doing this for months now. I have to figure out a good way to make this enjoyable for people, like staking. You know, I want to make the live sweat like a little more. You know, something worth making it more, just instead of just like investing. I want it to be more of an experience, and it's been running into some issues with making that happen. I mean, I can't think of anything. I keep trying, and then it just ends up being boring. But I will think of it. All right, so wait, let's put up FanDuel. Oh my God, where's FanDuel? Let's go FanDuel Monster and MB FanDuel Monster, one entry at 444, right? 444, and then we're gonna go to and then I'm gonna check out the. I'm actually here for a little bit. There's someone's coming to pick up my dog in a few minutes, but I'm here, and then we'll go Grand Slam, right? No, we're gonna go FanDuel Grand Slam. 4 entries. That was how much was that? Sorry about this, guys. I just have to do this. Upcoming, the Grand Slam was, how much is that? That's the squeeze. Fix that. Sorry, it's FanDuel. It just sucks. I mean, it just really sucks that I can't find this in 2 seconds, how much this is. FanDuel Grand Slam is, there it is. So Grand Slam, it's 66 times 3. 66 times 4, so 132, 264. It's going to be FanDuel. Sorry about that. It's going to work. And I'm going to win, and people are going to get mad at me. Slam, boom, 263. And then I did the monster. I did everything else. I think that's, no, I have to do the squeeze too. FanDuel, main slate, MME lottery, and that's called the squeeze. And then I do want to show you my MMA stuff. I mean, I'm here. You guys can go, drop off, but I'm going to stay here for a few minutes. And that's 360. And FanDuel. I do have to change this one thing because a couple of the FanDuel things say DraftKings on them. Actually pick that up somehow. So now we'll go here, packages. And by the way, my freaking golf is a horror show. By the way. FanDuel. Okay, so let's edit this. I really don't think any of this is even going to sell. People are barely even going to notice that I'm putting it up. It's basically locked right now anyway. Okay. All right, so let me show you what I ended up doing. You want to talk about process? Let me show you what I did as far as draft about MMA. I think you will like this actually. I really do enjoy the lineup construction for MME, especially with SaberSim. For MMA, especially with SaberSim. Let's pull this up. So what I did, okay, and I'll repeat it, okay. So this was my take. You see these lineup rules. I'm gonna get back to this in a minute. There are a couple of things that I did. First, let's just start over. For example, I picked out some key fights and wanted to make sure that I got all of those. So here's the deal. So, and again, I apologize. I don't think I'm going to be talking more baseball. So, any more baseball, you guys can leave if you want or whatever. So with MMA, the key fights I had, and this is what came from my breakdown, is that you look at look at the fighters with the wrestling upside and their opponents. So we're going to start with Cody Durden. I mentioned that I thought Cody Durden was an extremely just super strong play, and as a result, you have to consider the other side because it's going to show up as such a strong equity play that if you can get Hadley in and he looks good, you want to play him. So I made sure to get Durden and Hadley. I also wanted to make sure to get both sides of Lopez and Tucker. I also wanted to make sure to get both sides of Harris and Wells. I also wanted to make sure to get both sides of Osborne and Asu. And I also wanted to make sure that I got both sides of Jackson and Quarantillo. And then I did like Sandhagen and Suarez. So what? And I also liked the Asmabay of Osborne fight I talked about. So what I basically did was I X'd out every other fighter. Check out what you can do here. I love doing this stuff. This is really what I enjoy. So I X'd out every other fighter except for those guys. Barcelos, Klein. Not that any of these are particularly bad plays, but I wanted to get all these guys. So I wanted to make sure that I got these guys, and we'll change a couple of this. It doesn't even matter what projections. And then I literally I clicked 150, but you're not even going to get 150 if you just use these guys. So what I basically did is I took all those fighters from like the fights that I liked. You're going to see, I think it's going to stop at 47 if I'm not mistaken. Ready? Watch this. Boom. 47. There's literally only 47 combinations that have just these fighters. So I literally got all 47 combinations. So that's how I started, right? So that's 47, and I left money on the table. It just didn't matter, okay? And then what I did, okay, is then I went back for my other 150, for my other 100, and I made these rules. And I had these rules where I had one from each of these fights, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I built lineups with make sure to get one from all 5 of those fights, and then just sprinkled like all the rest. Like that's how I got exposure to all the other fighters. So I had this big cluster of like fighters that I liked and really got after them. And then I made a rule that for the remainder of them, I got somebody from at least 5 of those fights. And then I ended up getting like because when you just make sure you get one of all 5 of these, you don't get that much of like Sandhagen. You don't get that much of Suarez or whatever. So that's how I ended up building. And it was really just came right from my breakdown. I picked like those key fights, and then I just kind of went off on those, right? So I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually not going to be able to see it. I'm going to be at a party tomorrow night, but I'm going to be curious to see how that plays out. I mean, that's been my process for how I've been building on it for UFC. And I really do get a kick out of that. And one thing also with SaberSim is that you can specify which type of lineups you're getting. Like, for example, let's say that I put in like one of these 5. I'll put this rule together where you have to one of all these 5 fights. And then I'll put in, I'll go 150. I can't play 150, but what's really cool about SaberSim is the way you can rank these lineups. And I'm going to show you the differences in a second. So again, what we're doing is taking one fighter make sure you get one from each of those 5 fights, and then just sprinkle the rest. but that's not exactly the end of it because I'll show you. So here's 150 of a pool of 250, but here it's rating them by MMA default. And MMA default is a much more contrarian set like build, okay, as opposed to the other one. So like this one, for example, you'll be getting more, Kamer, Buskus, whatever. Here, if we did it by sim diversity, it changes a little bit. Like it changes the lineups. It's a little less of it's a little less contrarian. So it's a real. Listen. I really have such a great time with the MMA because it allows me to like screw around with lineup builds and stuff like that. So anyway, that's where I'm at with MMA. I am going to kind of get going. I have to deal with my dog now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed a little of that. Hopefully we get some sweats tonight, and I'm not going to be around much tomorrow. I'm going to do my best to get projections up, but I honestly can't promise. But we will see. That'll do it. Good.